This was a really unique opportunity, being selected by Matthew to collaborate with OVS, and obviously with the reputation of St Martin's behind you. It's very different to designing ready to wear. Like there are more compromises you have to make and limitations, obviously due to price. But that's something that I've learned. I think it's been really valuable because ultimately you need to make clothes that sell, and that is what I'm passionate about. I want to make wearable clothes. This collection is about juxtaposing Matthew's aesthetic with mine. My personal aesthetic is a lot more androgynous, whereas his is much more feminine, so it's just about finding that balance. I think it still feels slightly surreal. I think until I see it in the shops, I don't quite believe that it's happening.
Fashion for Young Generation insieme all'ufficio stile ha fatto sì che vengano coniugati tutti gli ingredienti che in questi ultimi anni hanno consolidato il mondo della moda. Gli stilisti affermati, le scuole che danno la possibilità a questi ragazzi di conoscere questo mestiere e gli insegnano a farlo, e un retailer che ha una struttura forte, quindi fa conoscere a questi ragazzi che cos'è il sistema moda e la produzione e la distribuzione, e un ufficio stile che è il posto dove tutto questo viene coniugato.
For the company, they have the opportunity to work with a young graduate who is in turn being mentored by Matthew Williamson, who is obviously a very famous alumnus from this college. And Tracy, the student, or rather the graduate, is working with people very much along her own fashion age range for the company. So it's a win-win situation. I think Tracy's talent is that she's a real perfectionist. She's very, very precise about the lines in her silhouettes. So I noticed in her collection she's fused together sort of sharp tailoring with a softer, more petticoat sort of line. I think she's always been very good at working with colour, so she works with really subtle colouring shades, you know, sort of not only monochromes but eau de Nil and a sort of peach shades. And then together she's fused working with Matthew Williams something more colourful and nature-like, so it's been a real fusion of urban and nature.
The inspiration comes from the idea of a muse in my mind, as opposed to working with a theme or making a collection that's very literal. Obviously I'm influenced by imagery and photography, and in particular street style. I know that OVS are doing a campaign about the collection. I can't wait. Matthew's been great to work with. I couldn't have asked for a better mentor because he's been so encouraging with his words, and he's been there more to guide as opposed to dictate what should be done.
I really wanted to take part in the Fashion for Young Generations project because I think OVS have recognised a really important part of the fashion industry as a whole, which is to really champion and support and celebrate graduate designers and bring them into the workplace. So I looked at many portfolios from Central St Martin's, the graduates there, and was amazed at the variety of work. But there really was one student that for me stood out, and her name is Tracy Wong. She's a fantastic, talented designer, and I was thrilled to work with her. Hopefully with the help of OVS, she's got a really good platform to go out into the industry and begin her journey in fashion. I think fashion need not be just for a luxurious top end, so I think Tracy's collection really appeals to a broad market.